it. But I mean, at the end of the day, it's still the biggest winner was still E-Arena because they finished what they started by wiping out Expand. I think Kalahari, it will be a bit different. Again, I want to see Farang take control of this. Well, Farang isn't on the screen just yet, but later on, I want to see them take control. Right now, I do believe that Expand has been struggling with on Kalahari in particular. It's a map that they're not as comfortable as they were with. But with this hard drop onto the high tier loot zone, they're up against They Were United, and they've already gotten that first knockdown.
I mean, it certainly makes sense for them to try to equip themselves with whatever best they could, and that has to do with that blue zone, the high-value loot zone, as it were. But then first, they need to be able to contend with the members of Dewa here. Can they find a good high ground? Though Neptune certainly has a high ground in this situation, but we're also seeing, sorry, this is Axis Esports actually, Neptune currently trying to fight against Sem9. He does have a slight high ground here in this arena, but then what will Sem9 try to do in response to that? In the meantime, Team Flash, okay, now back into the blue zone here. We see the Axel from Expand trying to find, or rather flush out this last member of Dewa right now, who I think have literally got themselves slaughtered completely, because only Rain seems to be the only member left, and he's still trying his very best to run away from the situation right now. I think he's already far and away though, and yep, indeed he is already far away from this blue zone. Should be okay to bring back the rest of his team.
Yeah, with 3 different fights happening on the map. With Sem9 against Axis, we have Flash, I believe against, I don't know, Team Flash was also fighting a separate team. I think Attack All Around, and then Expand just now up against They Were United. But this is going to be crucial for Axis if they win this one, because if they wipe out Sem9, there's a good chance that they bring themselves up the standings and create a gap between Sem9 and Expand. And so far, it's Axis that is kind of winning out the skirmish just by a little bit. Sem9 did have to, I believe, revive one of their members. Axis is content with the 2 points that they have.
Yeah, I think that was also forcing Sem9 to now back out from the fight, but and Axis right now have full control over this northern side here. So at the moment, we'll still have to see whether or not they will be able to regain some ground later on in this game. But for now, Flash very much getting themselves back up to speed there. They already got all the members back up after that little encounter earlier on. Dewa, in the meantime, Rain still very much solo. He's trying to make his way towards a revive point, but there's actually no one there. I'm just wondering why he's kind of holed up at the moment. Perhaps just being a bit cautious at this point. E-Arena at the moment seems to have found another team just across the embankment from them. And I think like they pretty much have them pretty locked down there, because E-Arena's positioning right now pretty much puts them on top of this revive point and makes it sure that any team that's going to want to get a revive will have to pass right through them.
And that team is Anxiety, and they are continuously trying to get away. But look at E-Arena. They are incredibly aggressive with those grappling guns, trying to hunt down members of Anxiety. Maybe we'll get a couple of stragglers along the way, and they actually have closed their distance. Anxiety are very much split up. Limit will be the first one to make contact with Anxiety. Showma has to drop the time turret just to buy a bit of time, but that means that he is also trapped right there. Has the tree, but what a shot from Limit from downtown. Hits the skull of Showma. He will be slowed down, but the rest of it, E-Arena, they have already caught up to Anxiety, and all it took was just a glimpse of Anxiety trying to cross the river, and they get mercilessly hunted down. 2 eliminations for E-Arena thus far.
Wow, that's so painful there. I mean, this grapple gun, definitely a game changer right here. I mean, look at how fast E-Arena was able to catch up to Anxiety, not only to take them down, but even just kind of cut them off, really. Because at the start of that fight, E-Arena was actually outside of the outside of the next circle, and Anxiety was inside the next circle. But then it completely flipped around because how fast, how rapid E-Arena was able to reposition themselves.
No normal teams does that, right? E-Arena has really shown us that how not only that they're aggressive, you might call them crazy, but they are confident in what they can achieve. And I think that they know that Konoha might still be around. They are scouring this entire compound, leaving no stones unturned. Showma just got back, and it's not spotted by E-Arena, but spotted by Attack All Around, so didn't really get to play the game in any way. Toby now isolated as well. 1v1 against E-Arena, but he's quickly flanked. Toby getting 1, but 1 is all he gets. August comes in, knocks him down. Anxiety down to just Konoha, who is still in the vicinity and trying to use that blue zone as cover to perhaps get away. and survive for a bit longer.
Yeah, he best run his way towards the safe zone right about now. Maybe even that revive point is close by. The problem is that once he does so, the arena pretty much will be giving chase to him. Thankfully, this first stage blue zone is not that painful, so he could perhaps wait it out a little bit, wait for E-Arena to move on, and then only go for the move. But then for now, Anxiety very much at the edge of this at the edge of the razor here with how they perform in that one, and just so unfortunate as well for Sem9 to land in the middle, attack all around in that instance there. Definitely didn't expect that. Sem9 and Flash seem to have encountered each other on the northern side there. I've seen already some shots being exchanged between the two of them as the circle closes in all around them. The next zone, ooh, that's actually quite close to where Flash and E-Arena is, so they don't really have to move too far away. And Flash, in the meantime, they do have a bit of a high ground situation here that they have to deal with Sem9 already taking control of the cliffs, forcing Bloody to use a grapple gun in order to escape to safety together with the rest of the team. But with the circle landing on top there, this might be an impetus now for Flash to just stand the ground and fight it out.
Sem9 have split that battle force. How are they going to deal with Flash? Because Flash have a big compound which tries to work with, and Sem9 will have to run straight into kind of the meat grinder. Figuring would need a bit of space to heal up, but oh, Xac had to just do it to him. And Bio steals that one away. Axis Esports thought they got the drop on Sem9, and as if things weren't already bad for Sem9, now they have actually shooting them from behind, an angle that they were not expecting to be needing to cover. Xac going down. He said Axis have gotten 2 free kills and ruined Sem9's chances. Now the other 2 members are on top of that cliff, on that mountain, but it's going to be so hard to get into the safe zone.
And the thing is that Axis pretty much was gatekeeping Sem9 in that instance alongside the Team Flash, but they could potentially play gatekeepers now to E-Arena, who only just now are making their way to the safe zone. Now, thankfully, they don't have to move too far away because that circle is quite close by. But they are using vehicles here, and as X-Axis right now are focusing their attention on Team Flash from across the street. So this might be the perfect cover that they need in order to try to avoid some danger. But they've encountered one of the members of Sem9, Yubi, getting caught out by Orcus as they were making their way to that circle. That's a little unfortunate there, my friend.
Yeah, out of the frying pan, into the fire, and into the volcano itself. Sem9 just could not catch a break. Everyone can call left, right, and center.
Whoa.
Oh, E-Arena right into the lion's den of Team Flash. Orgus, an absolute madman. Build a fortress with that glue wall. Limit goes down. Orgus needs to bring him back up. Protete, he is also at the scene. Team Flash, can they get rid of E-Arena, who have been absolutely aggressive?
Wow.
Protete swings the corner, gets flanked from behind, and 2 versus 1, and still takes on the fight. This guy is the Terminator for E-Arena. 2 goes down, and now backup has arrived. Can Team Flash hold the fort? Protete finally goes down. Orgus is the second to follow. They set up that glue wall to protect themselves, but that means that Team Flash also gave E-Arena some space to bring their teammates back up. Limit gets Bio. Bio is removed from the match. Limit turns the corner. Team Flash is out. E-Arena, what have you guys just done?
You guys are mad lads! Literally hot dropping using the surfboard straight into in the middle of a firefight between Axis and Flash, and just completely wipes out Flash in their own game. I mean, man, this game just brings you so many different kind of surprises, doesn't it?
Yeah, sometimes you will win by catching your opponents by surprise, and one of the ways to catch them off guard is basically just running into them, right? Because it defies the common sense of aggression. I mean, to us, it defies it, but to E-Arena, they are redefining what it is to kind of make that first move. First Raider now seeing members of Dewa United. It's going to be at least one of them who just got revived. This should be easy pickings for First Raiders.
Oh no, Rain's gonna get spotted now. Dark Hole gets a shot, gets him knocked down. No way that Rain's gonna be able to get out of this one here. Thankfully, he had already got his teammates back as insurance, but that was certainly an unfortunate situation. But it just goes to show how much, you know, just having a simple item like the grapple gun has really changed how you approach this game now, because it just means that even if you're high up in the tower, you're not necessarily safe this time around when someone has a grapple gun.
It's one of the most unique mechanics in Free Fire, right? You only get that on Kalahari, and this is why it's such an important piece of equipment to have. MDH, on the other hand, finally catches win that Expand might be heading towards. So we saw a bit of pot shots, but Expand, they are pretty safe behind the cover of a couple of buildings. But that means that they also know that for the next rotation, they might have to contend with MDH.
Yeah, and thing is, this circle is getting very, very crowded, and the fact that it just landed somewhere
With 11
close.
teams left, Victor.
11 teams, exactly my point. You know, we're kind of like gathering around the refinery here, so you're going to be seeing a lot of verticality coming into play here. MDH catching out a member of Anxiety there. In fact, 2 members of Anxiety got taken down in one fell swoop. So Kanoho and Got2b are the only ones left still standing. Nuke able to find another member of Dewa, Virus, who actually was just around where the blue zone was closing in. And then we also see first Raiders also making their way down the valley, and they're going to be eviscerated very soon, while E-Arena continues to try to bring shots along with MDH shooting from top side there. Now they stop first Raiders in the tracks right now, forcing them to bring out the time turners, but then that's going to break down now. The ice wall's not going to help you right there, Jonger. He's going to get taken out completely by Nuke, and that's an easy kill there for this man.
Just a very tough spot to be in. Nothing much you could do. No angle to counter fire. No equipments to work with. The first Raiders are just caught in a pickle. Tag all around have been removed from the game. Axis Esports, the next to follow, most of them just expired to the play zone as well. Very, very unfortunate event, but that's what happens, right? You got such a crowded circle. People are going to start dropping like flies. E-Arena against Evo's Phoenix, one of the most anticipated showdown, but Evo's Phoenix will start this off with a member's disadvantage, almost letting a debilitating shot, but it is just not enough. Potato barely running away with a slither of health, and now will heal himself back up. And by the way, Victor, we're looking at E-Arena with 11 eliminations, and it's still going to go up.
It's still potentially could go up. The thing is, they caught between the sandwich here, and Shut Up has just been knocked down. This could be an opportunity now for Evos to go ahead and try to overrun them. And look at what is going on here. They're trying to just literally take them out right there and then. And Potato, unfortunately, had to run around. Fortunately, is able to take down already, but that could have been very good. But no, drop from the top, Moshi! Out of nowhere, RKOs Totate, and now the Arena, they're down to just one member left.
That's what you want to see from Evo's Phoenix. E-Arena, they thought, Shoutout thought he could save his buddy, but no, Evo's Phoenix already might have just won that fight for them. It is not done and dusted just yet, but we're seeing the catalyst for what could be the most epic fight. And Evo's Phoenix able to revive the 2 fallen members, and a cherry on top, Anxiety though. Not so lucky, taken out by MDH. Nigma Galaxy now on our screens up against Expand, who does have a couple of groups to work with. Caramel gets snuffed out by Roy. E-Arena still kicking, but maybe not for long. Orgus dies once more, and Limit, he is cowering on top of this room, but can he save the round? We have seen him done wonders. He needs help from Sem9, and Sem9 is delivering that assistance. Evo's Phoenix might not make it out of this alive because they don't really have enough members to work with. Sem9 mowing them down. Evo's Phoenix is gone. Sem9 stays alive. They have just saved E-Arena.
I mean, Sem9 was the third party that E-Arena needed but did not deserve, actually. And I think this actually makes the situation a little bit harder for Limit, because now he's caught up in the rooftop while Sem9 has control over the ground floor. So if he drops down at this point, he's going to be in a 1v3.
Oh, he's running for it.
He's trying to go for a run for it right now. Can Sem9 actually catch him before it's too late? The grapple gun allowing him to move very rapidly, but now the glue wall had to come out, and Limit is now stuck in his tracks. And Zen-OP runs up straight to his face, gives him a shotgun greeting, and sends him back to the lobby.
A performance that is very admirable from Sem9 in this match. Top 4 is going to be them top 3. MDH against 2 teams from MSP. Sem9 Expand. Just being around the block, MDH. How do you hold this compound too fast? Actually takes himself out with the grenade launcher. That's not the opening that you want. But MDH, preoccupied with Sem9, turns their attention over to Expand. Sem9 decides that this is going to be our third booyah, and we're going to wrestle it from every single enemy that stands in our way. MDH still on that rooftop. Nero getting a good shot to Axel, takes him out of the equation. Expand's time is running low. They still have 1 more member alive, but can Cobra save this one for his team? We have seen him become the hero, but he has to be the miracle for the team.
Yeah, this is going to be very tense right about now. MDH unfortunately had to concede the rooftop now to try to fight on the ground. That might be a bit of a disadvantage for them at this point. They still have a little bit more glue walls to use up there. Not so much for Newbie though. He's going to have to run around. Unfortunately, he's going to get taken down. Now ZenOP is trying to find another target here. Can he find anyone else though? Yes, he does. He finds MDH, takes him out.
It's
now
2 versus 1.
It's 2 versus 1 here. Cobra still alive for Expand, still trying to fight this out. But then the thing is, he is outnumbered. He still has blue walls though. He's going to try to use that to his advantage. Oh, but he collapses himself. He locks himself in the room with Sem9 and allows them to take the booyah.
Hat trick for Sem9, the 3rd booyah on the overall collection of the ones that they already had. And Sem9 turning up the heat. At the start of the show, you say that they are slow starters, and I completely agree with that. But maybe today their engines have been warmed up earlier than we expected. It's a great opening for this team. I mean, they came into this with a lot of doubts on their shoulders as well. How is this original Sem9 roster going to perform on such a big stage, on a regional stage nonetheless? And remember, this was the team that acquired one of the best rosters that we had locally at one point and failed to make it through the major.